everyone, I'm Esmeralda Padilla-Gould and welcome to Vegas Vibes. On Vegas Vibes, I'll be featuring amazingly talented people from many walks of life who contribute to making Las Vegas a unique global brand. And on that note, here with us today is a singer, songwriter, hip-hop artist, and a former U.S. Marine Corps. Please welcome Mark Stewart Villamac Ho. How are you, Mark?
Pretty good. Appreciate it. Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Yes.
It's been a little bit, you know,
Yes.
but always amazing to see you. And it's like maybe like a second or third time we've met. So I follow you on Facebook and on social media. So it's
You're sweet.
yeah. So you're doing awesome things out here. You know,
Thank
you guys.
you. And so are you. You've been an inspiration to a lot of people. And having said that, you were born and raised, you were born in the Philippines.
Yep.
But
Pasay
you came
City,
here,
representing.
Pasay City, Philippines,
Yep.
in Manila. And you came here when you were 4. So basically you grew up here in the United States.
Yep. Los Angeles area. Yeah.
Immigrated with your whole family.
Yes. So when we first came over here, you know, every Filipino or Balakbayan, you know, as they say, came in, has different missions and different experiences. My father and my brother, my father Willard and my brother Michael Ho, who's actually serving in the United States Marine Corps right now, stationed in Virginia. He's a master sergeant.
By the way, thank you for your service.
Yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor. Shout out to all my devil dogs out there. Raw. Yeah, so they came here first and, you know, did the groundwork as far as getting us over here. So they came here first. My dad worked, you know, a bunch of odd jobs. Then finally, my mother, Ludivina Gilkison, and my brother Mervyn Louis came over here with myself at a young age. And yeah, started life here in Los Angeles as some Balakbayans. So yeah, so it's been an amazing journey.
You have some interesting story to tell growing up. I mean, you were in trouble?
Yeah, I
got
grew
yourself
up
in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I grew up
I
around the
bet.
Los Angeles area, moved around, you know, apartment buildings, you know, just the average life like right here in Los Angeles area. And eventually we ended up getting settled in a city called Azusa. And it's basically like, doesn't matter where you're at, but it's like a Latino neighborhood. So being like one of the only Asians around there, you know, you had to represent, right? So basically I did get a little bit of trouble. And I found my way out the storm though. I found my way out of the Bagyo. So yeah, so to speak.
That's actually my question as well. How did you get that nickname, Bagyo? Did you pick that out for yourself, or your mom named you Bagyo?
Yeah, my mother named it to me actually.
Oh.
There was a gentleman back in the day too in the Philippines, Boy Bagyo, that my mom knew back in the day. So I kind of just picked up the nickname when I was younger, and because I was like a little hurricane when I was younger. I did a little bit of boxing when I was not even younger, but into my teenage years, you know, getting in a lot of, you know, fights and stuff like that. So I became a
To
Bagyo.
those who don't know,
Yes.
Bagyo, translated in English, it means typhoon.
Yep, exactly. Typhoon, storm. So yeah. So
How did you like that name?
I liked it. You know,
You liked it?
one of the movies that I liked too growing up too was Denzel Washington, The Hurricane. That's a dope movie.
Oh.
So yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah, so just
So-
kind of went hand in hand. So
I would like to know, did your experience in the Marine Corps provide any additional self-discipline or strength needed to endure your ongoing battle with myeloma?
yes.
Yes.
So
Is that something that you're very comfortable to talk
yeah,
about?
I'm definitely comfortable talking about it. You know, because multiple myeloma, unfortunately, I got diagnosed with 2 cancers from my military service. They kind of found it service connected. So one of the things that you hear a lot of days is kind of like a blanket that I'm just kind of talking. So the VA, you hear a lot of bad stuff about the VA. You know, they're not taking care of veterans. Luckily, I was blessed enough to be able to be one of those veterans when I got out of the Marine Corps back in 2007. The VA has been kind of actually pretty good with me. So I had issues with, you know, readjusting back to normal civilian life, because when I was in the Marine Corps, my main job was crash fire rescue, which is I was an aircraft rescue firefighter.
Wow.
And I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, so I was used to being in charge of my Marines, taking the lead in a lot of things. I was eventually assistant section leader, point man in like emergencies. So I was used to being like a leader of young Marines, you know. So when I got out, I was having issues as far as like I'm in North Carolina, then I come back out. I don't know, I want to go to school, get a job, do stuff like that. And next thing you know, I'm living with my mom. So I'm taking out the trash. So it was like an adjustment. And I didn't grow up with my mom, part
Most
of it.
Filipinos,
Yeah.
traditional way of growing
Yeah.
up.
So if you have a song called "Going Back," actually, it kind of explains like my childhood where the family kind of split up for a little bit. So I grew up with my dad in Azusa, and so I ended up living with my mom. After so many years of not being with her, being in the Marines and all that stuff. So I was having issues readjusting, so to speak. So in that case, I had issues readjusting. So I needed to help other veterans, basically. So that was one of the main things that.
Having said that, your time working with the vet center,
Yep.
supporting and counseling your fellow vets must be difficult and challenging.
Yeah.
And at the same time, both rewarding and a feeling of quite honorable, as you provide unique experience, direction, and guidance for so many military veterans. Could you?
Yes, definitely. It was
expound more on that?
basically like when I got out, I was one of those. I'd hate to say it, but basically I was like a poster boy, So I got, I had my issue with PTSD, and I was able to get counseling myself to overcome those obstacles. And they eventually see me, I'm pretty good go-getter, good positive attitude. They utilize me as a mobile vet center technician, which is an outreach worker to help other veterans or to reach out to other veterans that may be, struggling with these issues too, like younger veterans like myself that got out and, they just want to go to school. So I was out there helping out with benefits and stuff like that. So it was a good thing. It was a good thing.
Let's talk about your music. Yeah, I read that you would compose and it would be your pastime. Music would be your pastime when you were based in Iraq.
Yes. Some of the things that
Tell
I
us
did.
about that unique
Experience?
Yes.
So, I remember when I first got stationed in North Carolina, it was like one of the things I had, like one of those, I'm about to date myself right now. But yeah, basically those little cassette tapes. I remember I had an old cassette tape. I don't even know why I had it back in 2000, and even at that time, it was still old. I had a cassette tape, and I was playing in one of those boom boxes with one of my Marines, and it was basically me rapping when I was younger, like freestyling, and it became a thing. Like Marines found out that I knew how to rap, so it'd be like whenever we'd be like out relaxing or drinking, they'd want to hear me freestyle. When I was in Iraq, you had to take your mind to a different place.
That was your therapy music.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things was like, you be in that foxhole, you're thinking about like what you're gonna do when it's your time to take a little break, come back to the rear. Like I remember I would keep this journal, and I would write. Besides writing like the stuff that's going on that day, I would write raps sometimes, raps and thinking about what I'm gonna do when I get back, make music, do boxing. And that's what kind of one of the things I did when I got out of came back to the rear, they call it, back to the States is kind of another segue, but I was on the All-Marine boxing team, so I gunned for that. But yeah, it's one of the things that I did do to look forward to getting back home, because you don't know when your time's gonna be, if you're gonna make it back or not. So you had to look for something, looking forward to your family members or to getting that new car or doing whatever, seeing your wife or your husband or your daughter or your son.
Stay positive.
Yeah, exactly. So one of them was making music. So
where do you see yourself in the future as far as music that you create?
So right now I'm definitely pushing out one of my albums, or an album that I've been working on. It's called The Passport. Definitely see it as a goal that I set for myself. I want to release this music, touch as many people as I can with this music that I'm making, because it's relevant. I want to make relevant music. The Passport is should be coming out pretty soon. It's dealing with some of the things that are going on with this country right now. Yeah, exactly. You guys will hear it pretty soon. I have a song called Disability that kind of goes in as far as it's no longer disability, it's disability. But anyways, through that cause, after I make that music, that transition, when I'm done performing under the lights or making music, I want to be able to do a little bit of apprenticeship I want to actually start doing something. It's called musical therapy, helping out. Maybe people overcome certain things like. One of the things that a musical therapist does is some of the ones that I've met they work at like the children's hospital, helping out the children through a little bit of kind of group therapy sessions where they're learning how to play music. It's a fun thing to do, kind of eases the mind. Another thing is like the people that are getting out, that are getting out of a troubled life, like out of jail, getting out of parole and stuff like that. One of the things that helps ease them or give a positive outlook in life is doing music.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it definitely sharpens them up. It gives them a beautiful outlook on life. Same thing, like even working at like a hospice place where they just want to learn how to play the piano or maybe play the guitar, or learn how to sing. It helps with a lot of therapy. So that's
I see that you have so much love for music. And
yeah,
I
it's
know
definitely
that's
helped me out.
Yes,
yeah,
especially with what you're going through right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Cancer. Let's talk about your shirt. You just mentioned Film Creative. What's that all about?
Film Creative is actually an organization of young entertainers. Most of them are producers, actors. Like myself, I do music, and comedians, artists, engineers. They're all over the Los Angeles area, and they're actually growing the population. There was a movie that came out recently. I'm having a what's the Asian movie?
Asian.
The big one.
Asian.
Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, that was a big movement. So there's a whole new movement coming on.
Pardon me, I haven't seen it, but I plan to see the movie.
Yeah,
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, so it's we're putting our foothold back in back in the days. At Joy Luck Club, back in the 80s, we put our foothold back then, but now there's another renaissance or revival. So the Film Creative has been one of the guys that I've been working with. There's an organization called Filipino Worker Center in Los Angeles. Shout out to them too, by the way. So they actually have a jeepney there that I've luckily been able to drive, give a tour out. But yeah, that's how I met him, through the Filipino organization, the Film community over there in historic Filipino town. So I got to get into that scene over there, as far as like Cecil and Mighty. I met them through historic Filipino town,
right
around that whole area, Casino Filipina, Kapistahan, now known as Shy Bogs.
It's so refreshing to talk to someone who actually who basically grew up in the United States, but very patriotic. Like, I just noticed your hat.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of the Philippine flag.
Yep.
Yes, the sun and the 3 stars.
Yep, the islands.
Yeah,
basically
islands,
the 3 islands. Yep.
Now.
So yeah, it's something that I I have in my heart. Pinoy Lakas,
It's very admirable.
Filipino pounder.
Bagyo, let's do a quick talk and just say the first thing that comes up.
Yep. Yeah.
On the top of your head. So name 3 things on your bucket list.
Traveling to England. Maybe. Wow, I never. Okay, traveling to England. Eventually, I guess, get married and have kids. So
one more.
And another thing is, I guess maybe hang gliding. There.
Wow. Okay. Favorite animal?
Probably a dog.
Favorite food? Filipino food?
My favorite? Dinagoan.
Dinagoan.
Yes. Or actually, you know what? I have dinagdakan. Dinagdakan's pretty good. It's a little bit of I believe it's pork and mayonnaise and like onions. They have it at a place called Cocina Filipina in Eagle Rock. If you guys ever are over there, Cocina Filipina.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Your favorite hip hop artist?
Tupac Shakur, Machiavelli.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Shoot, it'd be flying. Yeah, I'd love to fly. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
That's the second time I've heard that.
Yeah.
What would you do if you could travel into the past?
Travel to the past. That's I don't know if I would probably do the same thing over again. To be honest with you, travel to the past. Because everything's happening for a reason, I believe, right now to me. So I really have no regrets in life right now. Yeah. So.
If you could choose anywhere in the world to live, where would you stay?
Southern California. I still love LA. You know, I
For
still
me,
love
Philippines.
LA. Yeah.
Who is your biggest crush?
Biggest crush as far as
Maybe a celebrity?
celebrity. Let's see. Well, I guess it used to be Jessica Alba. Yes, yes.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Mr. Mark S. Villamac Ho. We're so excited to have you here in Vegas Vibes, and I wish you good luck in your career. And please invite all our local and global viewers to where they could find you
Yeah,
and
definitely.
to your
You-
upcoming events. as
Yes.
well.
So one of the things that I got coming up, well, you can catch me on actually www.bagyomusic.com, but I'm all over social media as far as at Bagyo Music. One of the events that I actually got coming up is, I believe it's October 7th, I believe, in the Filipino Cultural Center with Art Garcia. And I might have to correct that later on the date, but I believe it's October 7th. And it's going to be honoring World War II veterans, World War II veterans who have who didn't get basically the medals back in the day. So we're honoring them now by providing medals, gold medals for them now. So there's not too many of them around anymore. So let's do our best to honor them. Look up Filipino Cultural Center, historic Filipino town, and yeah. So that's one of the things that I got coming up, and be on the lookout for my album, The Passport, that should be coming out pretty soon. So.
For my last question, what pieces of advice or words of wisdom would you suggest to anyone aspiring to become a successful hip hop artist?
Definitely be yourself. Keep on putting out your music, and practice. Practice makes perfect. You know, reading a lot helps out too. You know, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of whether it be like a comic book or any kind of books. That knowledge is power, and whatever you do in life, just keep pushing. You know, no matter what obstacles you go through. It could be like you mentioned, cancer. It could be the Marine Corps boot camp. It could be making music. Just keep on pushing and stay focused.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you coming here. I know you live in California and you drove all the way from California just to be here today,
Yeah, so-
to be on Vegas Vibes. And of course,
Yeah.
later, Music Asia.
Yep.
We have to hear you sing.
Yeah, definitely glad to be here, and awesome to be in the company. So
Take care,
I
Mark.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And now the real hip hop is the real hip hop is the real hip hop is the real from LA right here to LE representing Sin City in the house.
I would like to thank my wardrobe sponsor, Anne Fontaine. They are located at the Forum Shops inside Caesar's Palace. Thank you so much, Miss Anna Stewart Billings of Anne Fontaine. Check out their website, annefontaine.com. Catch me again next time as I feature another amazing personality here in Vegas Vibes. Take care and God bless. Once again, this is Esmeralda Padilla-Gould.